there is always hope. We are now in the final days, we never know, of the negotiations. So new texts appear. It still can, on the most important issues, the options are open. So what is going to be the target? Is it going to be 2 degrees, 1.5 degrees? What's the long-term target going to look like? Is decarbonization in, yes or not? How does the review process look? How will the financing look? All these key issues, the options are open. So if you look at the text, we already lost some bits, so it's not going to be a green dream anymore. But in these options, you can still go for the ambitious one. So in that sense, it's really the moment where there is push. You need ambitious countries to speak out. It's always easier to be, as a country, unambitious instead of trying to get ambition in. So it is an uphill battle, but we're in the final hours. We keep on pushing. It's still possible, but it's an uphill battle. Here you see also the problem of the EU, that when the final hours appear, you need to move quickly. You need to react to new developments. And if there's one problem with the EU, it's reacting quickly. For example, on financing. This is the moment where the EU can build bridges to developing countries to say, hey, if you want to support more ambition together with us, we are willing to do something on financing. But our mandate on financing is not strong. So at this moment, 28 ministers of environment are calling back their capitals to the ministers of finance in order to have a bit more, mobility in their mandates. And that calling 28 member states, they need to come back with the same agreement because it's in unanimity. So what you see now is we need to move quickly and the EU needs to call 28 capitals. This is exactly where Europe is weak. And that's also what you see, is that Europe on some of the issues is a bit silent. For example, ambition before 2020, there are countries like in developing countries saying, hey, but Europe, do something more before 2020. The EU is not talking about it because it's not in the mandate. So there you really see the problem of the EU, and we're not flexible, and reacting quickly, it's not our best asset. We have to welcome the agreement, because what is very important is that now, for the first time, we have a climate deal where 195 countries are subscribing to. So the world is acting. I hope we go for the ambitious options, because then at least you really know that all these countries are also pushed to come with more ambitious proposals early on, so that system is working. We hope still that can be enshrined in the treaty. But nevertheless, what is important is the countries are moving. And we need that story out there to go to our national parliaments, to go to our national governments, to our regional governments, to say, now you have to move, now you have to act. Stop talking about carbon leakage, international competition. The world is changing, the world is moving, and now the next step needs to be taken. So in that sense, we need to welcome the agreement, because it's always a reason to start moving locally. And then let's make sure that we can have a more ambitious treaty later on. But that the world is changing and the world is moving, I think that's, no matter what, the best that comes out of Paris, although we keep on fighting to get as much as possible ambition out of this Paris.